Welcome to the Bestseller Secrets podcast, where business owners and experts come to learn how to write a book that becomes a bestseller and helps them to grow their income and their impact. I'm your host, Rob Kosberg, and today we're going to talk about the 4 essential elements to crafting a successful book. Oftentimes people think that there are so many moving parts necessary to make a book really successful. And honestly, that's really just not true. But there are some things that if you don't have in place, then even if you're a fantastic storyteller, you're probably not going to get the success for your book that you actually could. So let's dive in. Let's talk about what those 4 things are, and let's make sure that we have those in our books moving forward. So number 1 of the 4 essential elements that we need is we need to have an existing market, and we need to niche down in that marketplace. This is one of the biggest mistakes that I see new authors making, is they feel like that to get the broadest reach possible, they need to broaden out their topic rather than narrow their topic down. And that isn't the truth. You see, the broader your topic, the broader your market, yes, that's true. But if you don't already have a platform in place, then you're not really going to reach anybody with that broad topic. This world does not need another Success Principles book. Now, the reason those types of books sell is because they typically sell to an audience that is already in place for that particular author. If you don't have that audience in place, then you're not going to be able to sell a broad book. So, what I suggest to my clients is to go as narrow and as niche specific as possible. My book, Publish, Promote, Profit, is all about publishing, promoting, and profiting with a best-selling book for nonfiction, business-related topics. Does that mean that I can't help somebody that's writing fiction? No, we can, because the principles of marketing are true whether it's fiction or nonfiction. But the more niche specific I am, the better for me to reach my ideal client, and my ideal clients, people that I can really help to add 6 to 7 figures a year to their bottom line, are business owners, experts, coaches, consultants, practitioners, etc. So be as narrow as possible. If you're an estate planning attorney, for example, and as an estate planning attorney, you want to serve young families, right, with kids under the age of, say, 5 to 7, then be really specific in the topic of your book. You'll be able to reach those people because they're looking for information right now. And I'm not an estate planning attorney, so I'm not saying that you need to follow this route, but you know who your market is. Don't go broad, go narrow. So it must have an existing market, right? And you should niche down in that market as much as possible. So that's essential element number 1. Essential element number 2 is your book must provide massive, massive value. I hear from experts now and again that I watch on YouTube or I listen to on podcasts, and they'll talk about how, in the book, you want to talk about what it is that needs to be done, but not talk about how it's done. In other words, hold back the secrets from your book. I'm here to tell you, no. That's not what you want to do. What you want to do is you want to give it all away. You want to make as big a splash and as big an impact on the reader as possible. You want the reader to read it and go, wow, this person is revealing all their secrets. This has a massive, massive value. And here's what's going to happen. If you are a business owner and you sell something that is high ticket, right? You sell something that is $3,000, $5,000 or more, the people that are buying your book and are paying you royalties, those people themselves are only your ideal client if they take the next step. And here's the thing that I've learned. If I give all of my secrets out, the people that are my ideal clients read it and they go, I want to work with Rob. I don't want to do all this stuff myself. I'd rather just work with an expert that can do it all for me and I can write a check. Hey, that's how I feel about getting stuff done for my business. I want to work with experts. I know that sure, I could go through the process and the years of trial and error and failure and learn how to do it also, or I can accelerate my timeline. I can write a check and I can get it done properly. So, obviously, you want to sell something high ticket, but because you sell something high ticket, give away the secrets, give away massive, massive value, and your ideal clients will be attracted to you, and you'll sell tons of books. And the cool thing is, the people that never had the money or the desire to work with you, you're helping them too. Right? You're giving them the information so that they can decide how to do whatever it is that you teach how to do. That's number 2. Essential element number 3, it needs to be very unique to your experience. Now, what do I mean by that? Well, more than likely, you're going to be writing on a subject matter that's already been covered thousands and tens of thousands and maybe hundreds of thousands of times. So a question I always get from my authors is, why should I write this book? Or will people really be interested in this book? Because all of this content has been covered before. And that may certainly be true. But what hasn't been covered is your unique take and experience when it comes to your subject matter. So what does that mean? That means that A, you want to have your stories in the book, right? Certainly as they relate to your subject matter. But B, you also want to have client case studies and examples so that people can put themselves in your client's shoes and see, wow, okay, I am having that exact same issue and problem. Here's how Rob was able to solve that issue and problem. I now have faith that Rob can help me to solve it, or I can simply use the tactics and strategies that Rob used. I can figure it all out myself, read his book, etc., and then I can put those things into practice. So it needs to be unique to your experience, and you do that with your unique stories, and you do that with your unique case studies. Now, does that mean that you can't use a story from history or sports or from business-related examples within your field? Of course you can, absolutely, but ideally, you're going to write from your own experience and your client's experience. That's where people are going to gain the most trust from you. That's element number 3. Element number 4, and finally, is your book needs to have a compelling hook. When we talk about a compelling hook, what we're talking about really is the title and the cover. You only have a few seconds to really hook and engage that person that's looking for the content and the information on your subject matter. And you want to stand out apart from the rest. The way we suggest that to our clients is, number 1, you want to have a 3-word or less title. Now, can it be 4? Yes. Can it be 5 words? Yes. But if you can find a way to make it 3 words or less, and there's lots of ways to do that, and there's lots of successful books as an example of that, then making that both creative, making that curiosity provoking so that they take the next step and they read the subtitle, which is the promise of the book, the benefit rich part of the book. So they know, okay, this is what I'm actually going to learn from it. Now you've got them hooked. Now you've got them engaged. What I also suggest regarding covers is clean is always better than confused, right? You'll see many, and in fact, most New York Times and Wall Street Journal best-selling books have a very, very clean cover, not full of imagery. Occasionally you'll see that, but for the most part, if you're not sure which direction to go, then keep it clean, keep it simple, keep it bright, and you'll be able to hook and create a real compelling interest in your content before they even get a chance to dive into it. If this has been helpful to you, you may want to check out my Wall Street Journal best-selling book, Publish, Promote, Profit. You can find it at publishpromoteprofit.com.